Hi everyone, Indigo Eyes here. Today I bring you a mind-blowing information on one of your favorite topics, that is the Mandala system. I've noticed that anytime the word Mandala comes up or someone asks about it, there is always the same old redundant phrase spoken, meaning it means a sacred circle. So, to correct the misinformation that has been provided to you all along, with little to no knowledge about these amazing symbols, I decided to put together this informational video today instead of drawing a mandala. So, first of all, a mandala in its basic translation, it means a circle, not a sacred circle. Okay, and the correct pronunciation is mandal, not a mandala. British had added a at the end of the nouns and pronouns to Romanize the language, Hindi and Sanskrit. But what that does is it took the real meaning away, it distorted the word or even a phrase, and it created confusion. So, mandal refers to the sense of wholeness created by the circular forms. Exploring the meaning further, a mandal refers to the center of all creation, and the dot in the center is where a truly awakened being lives, and that is supposed to be you. So, the center also represents the beginning of each person's journey towards knowledge, wisdom, and enlightenment. Then, further, the mandal also helps you understand the concept and you stop chasing your desires. So once, and this is the normal law, once you stop chasing something, that thing starts chasing you. And quantum physics calls this phenomena as synchronicity. And synchronicity is something that can only be felt and not seen. And this phenomena had already been explained in Buddhism, Jainism, and Hinduism about 2600 years ago. So, if you keep an open mind and dare to feel and believe in invisible, also, you will find that the universe is much more expansive than what our eyes are capable of seeing. And I usually explain this with my favorite example, which is of French scientist Marie Curie, who received a Nobel Prize for her discovery of radium and thus the use of X-rays, right? That we so commonly use and we take it for granted, right? So the element that she was trying to study, it was left by mistake in the drawer. And when she and her colleague came back after a couple of days, there was a blob kind of thing, an impression left in the drawer. So to which everyone else dismissed it, but Marie Curie, she had kept an open mind and she dared to believe in the unknown and the invisible. And that's what led her to make this important breakthrough. And this is where Einstein's point is also proven that the chance favors a prepared mind. So I wanted to explain to keep an open mind and believe in the unknown and invisible. So let's explore deeper meaning of these amazing circles. And at the most basic level, we already know it is a beautiful circle and there could be any kind of designs or animals, flowers, and so forth. But what is important is what we do with the circle. That is what gives its meanings, qualities, and powers. And it is the power of the symbol that impresses the subconscious mind. And this is what we want to do because subconscious is what arranges the events, moments to bring us what we think about, not the conscious mind, not the thinking mind. Okay, so this is where the mandal plays important role in shifting our thinking and believing in the universe. So what we desire and think. Okay, there are two different things. Sometimes we desire things, but we say something, but our inner mind or the subconscious is uh, is negative. Okay, so this mandala, making the mandala and meditating on these, they will shift our thinking and believing in the universe. So what we desire and think, they vibrate at the same wavelength. So to dig into the deeper meaning of mandala, I invite you to embark on an exciting journey with me into the unknown, and that would be the universe. And it would feel like deep diving into the ocean of mandal knowledge. But I promise it will transform you. And this is where you will also understand the theorem of Thomas Bayes. And this theorem states, how might we modify our beliefs in the light of additional knowledge? Okay, so now we know that Mandala, it helps us understand what exists beyond the world we inhabit. And if you relate to it, we can see mandalas all around us. For example, the moon, the sun, the earth, the planets. And if you even draw or study how your family and the social lives work, you will see the circles of life in them. And what's most interesting is even the Venn diagram in the math, those are mandalas as well. So, either way, wherever we are seeing the mandala, it symbolizes the integration and wholeness. So, the belief of the mandal system is that by entering the mandala and proceeding towards its center, you are guided through the cosmic process of transforming the universe from one of suffering into the one of joy and happiness. If you remember, in my intro video, I did explain we use the black paper, there's a circle, and then there's a dot in the center. So that is what it means by entering towards the center, and that it helps us to transform the universe from that of one of suffering into the joy and happiness. And in very short, I can explain that a mandala has three basic layers to its meanings. So there's an outer layer, it represents the divine form of universe. Then there's an inner layer which creates a map to guide the mind towards enlightenment. And innermost layer is a secret layer, because the details in this case remain between the artist and the symbol or the creation itself. So overall, the three layers, the total mandala, it represents a balance of body and mind infused with clarity. So it involves also, while you make the mandala, leaving a part of yourself in the painting of the mandala and find relaxation and peace that they always transmit. And that's part of the reason. Uh, the next step would be making bonds with the universe. So you're going to say, what does that mean, making bonds? So if you let of all your preconceived notions and ideas of life, um, and when and where your destination is, this would be like a beginner's mind. That is what we need. A beginner's mind, meaning then your mind is ready to absorb the knowledge laid out right in front of you. You will see the universe or even your own surroundings as they really are, not how we want to see them. So basically, this is one of the basic messages of mandala, is for you to be in here and now. And this is called making bonds with the universe. Now, we know that universe encompasses everything that exists. And according to our current understanding, for example, the space-time, the forms of energy, the physical laws that relate them, everything, math, logic, history, I can go on. So universe, what I want to lay stress is that universe is both visible and invisible phenomena. It's just like the Schrodinger's cat. It's dead and alive at the same time. But to understand that, you have to learn quantum physics, and we don't want to do that right now. So the mandal helps us understand the two realities, that they are always present together. That is, what you desire is already present around you, hasn't materialized, it's virtually present, and it is waiting for you to take it. So if you learn the use of the mandal system, and what it's you can bring your desires into existence. So meaning that what you desire is already present, and yet you cannot see it, so it's not present. So the two realities are always there. And so then you're going to say, oh sure, Indigo, why do some people seem to have everything they want, and why do I have obstacles at every step of my life? So the answer I would give is the awareness that you're lacking. That is, the what substances we put inside our bodies from the earth, and the way we use them is the key. So secondly, let's say the obstacle has happened or any difficulty has come your way, and you could resent it, become bitter, and what would this do? You will attract more of the same kind of circumstances. Or you could try understanding that the unwarranted incidence has already happened, right? We cannot go in the past. The time's arrow, it moves only forward. So the only choice at that point we have is to address the present moment. And it's possible this is one of the lessons you needed to learn to be in the here and now. So what you should do is you have to look at that incidence from above. You rise above the situation, and now you try understanding what is the situation telling you. And trust me, I have done this always with all the obstacles in my life, and I would say that I have learned a lot every time. Otherwise, maybe I wouldn't have learned anything. So coming back, that you have to look at the situation from above, and you try understanding what is the situation trying to tell you. You will be surprised to find, if not right at the moment, but maybe in a few days or months, that the obstacle pushed you in a different direction, where you got the opportunity to fulfill your hidden dreams and thus the destiny, or it pushed you in a different direction that turned out to be much better for where you were. And this is why we need to make bonds with the universe, meaning so that we can hear the messages of the universe, and so that we don't miss out those messages due to the chatter in our minds. Okay, so in nutshell, what is all this is telling you is that life is really like a mandala. It is a circular advantage. It wasn't meant to be going straight forward like time's arrow or something, but it is a circular adventure designed to invite alignment in a larger context and connect us back to that center, that dot. If you step out of the enclosure of your mind, and then now, with that, having said that, now you step back into the mandal, where you are protected, you are qualified to receive the secrets of the universe, which is the ultimate wisdom. And at this moment, you become united with the universe, and this is the reality. So even in this, our hectic life, everyday life, where we are struggling, you can take refuge in this powerful mandala. Okay, and if we really pay attention, then universe is a spiritual source, and we can also say the moon and sun, they are our protectors after all. So one of the so Carl Jung, he has made the most extensive use of mandala as symbols of introspection, a guide to the center of the self. So when dealing with difficulties in his own life, as well as working with his patients, he found that the spontaneous drawing of mandalas, they evoked feelings of calm. From these experiences, he extended the circular archetype to the journey itself, describing it as circumambulation of the self. So, if I were to summarize all this in three sentences, which I can't, I have difficulties um, shortening things, but I've practiced. So the mandalas will help you see that if embracing our experiences as a circular adventure, they provide a broader view that enables us to move not only forward but inward to the core of our true self. And that is, of course, the real destination. Now, I wanted to explain there are types of mandalas actually, and this is a huge topic. So because each mandala in itself is unique with its own distinct functions. So types of mandalas. So the topic is a huge book in its own, and each mandala is unique with its own distinct features or functions. And I am sure you hadn't anticipated such a vast variety for a circle. And I've chosen a few mandalas to go over today, like three or four maybe. They are simpler to understand and to work with as the beginners. And next time, then I will bring another set of mandalas, um, depending on what you have to say about it. So the first mandala I wanted to discuss is, it's called a teaching mandala. Teaching mandala, these are symbolic, and each shape, line, or even the color, it represents a different aspect of a philosophical or the dharma system. Dharma is not religion, it means a way of life. So the student creates his or their own mandala based on the principles of design and construction. So they project a visual symbolization of everything that they have learned. And teaching mandalas, actually, they serve as colorful mental maps for the creator. And this particular mandala has been a hit for all my students from elementary to the doctorate level. And a number of schools here in the United States, they have adopted these mandalas with success. And so the way they do is, for example, they read their prose or a story they have to read. So they are given a story or to discuss in the class. And as their homework, instead of writing the story in their own words, they have to explain the story by drawing the mandala. And that is the most, students are very excited to do this. So they're given the guidelines of the mandala, and that also that it should be drawn in a way that people are able to understand what's happening in the story by looking at mandala. And so this has been a great experience for both students and teachers. The students who didn't like writing or were not good at it have made huge leap in the class participation and their grades, because this is something they like to do. Okay, so this was the teaching mandala. Second is the healing mandala. So, healing mandalas are more intuitive than the teaching mandalas. They are intended to deliver wisdom, evoke feelings of calm, and channel focus, concentration. And if this is the goal, then they are used for meditation alone. So the extended use is to bring healing in your life. So I have drawn this kind of mandala on one of the Mondays where I explained all about healing, and I'll keep it very brief, the meaning of the healing mandala. And as I had explained, that healing can be anything. It could be healing the environment of the home, the surroundings, the office, healing relationships, or it could be body, mind, and soul, right? But my biggest success has been with Alzheimer's patients. And bigger than that, I liked is that with the young children who have ADD and ADHD, where parents were kind of going crazy dealing with the disruptive behavior of the kid, day in, day out. So this has worked even better than just an art therapy. And this is because they yes, it is art, but what the mandala does in return, it evokes the feelings of calm and focus as well. So I would say that this mandala shows a synergistic effect in these children. That is, they are, of course, interested in making the circle, letting their imagination fly, and then there are colors, and there are no rules, right? So they can do anything, they can draw anything they want. But mandala in return, as I just explained everything about it, it does add to that. It adds much more to what they are doing. So even after they are done with their mandala drawing, the parents have reported that their child has become much calmer, happier, and almost seems to be some of them returning to normalcy, and maybe tapering their CNS altering medications. But and this pleases me very much, as this is one of my best achievements in the use of mandala therapy. So the third is the sand mandala. This is made of colored sand. These are intricate designs. They use variety of symbols, made of the colored sand, and it represents the This mandala actually, it does show you the impermanence of the human life, because usually we can make the sand mandalas also, but the Buddhist monks, they make these huge sand mandalas and it takes them days and days to make it. So but in the end, so they make, because the process of making, creating the mandala is important, and in the end they destroy it, so to show that nothing in life is permanent. What they do is that they call forth the forces of goodness, they chant, they meditate, and then there's music. Then of course, like I said, it takes many days, like 10 days. They will pour millions of grains of colored sand, and they will purify and heal the space and its inhabitants in the process. So shortly after its completion, they will dismantle the mandala to symbolize the impermanence. And and then they will disperse it in the water also to send the blessings all over the world. So the message the message it sends is that nothing is permanent in our universe, and maybe we should try to learn non-attachment. A special sand mandala painting was a gift to New York City from the Tibetan Buddhist monks as a token of healing and goodwill following the terrorist attack against the city on September 11, 2001. So they also had they not had, but have a comment book next to it, and it was just amazing to read what all those people who visited the mandala, they had to say, or the whole, and the victims. So until today, whoever visits the mandala, they come back as changed and happier person. So the last one, which is really unique and it will interest you. I'm sure you haven't heard about it. It is called a body mandala. So this mandala represents the external world, which is idealized by the creator of the mandala. So the same thing, that you meditate and then you make the mandala. First, you there's a practice mandala, and then you recreate it to be the abode of a deity. So the internal body with its senses, organs, veins, nervous system, and so forth, they are idealized into an internal body mandala. So you can clearly see this process in the images that I'm showing. So that was all for the information that I did not want to make it too long, but there are too many mandalas yet. If you would be interested, so drop me a line and I would bring more of the mandalas and explain the different kinds. I would appreciate if you let me know what you thought of this last mandala, the body mandala, because I'm assuming did it leave you in an awe or something. And I hope you enjoyed the detailed information I provided today regarding the mandal system. And in that case, you could give this video a like, and maybe you could subscribe to my channel, as I will continue with the next level of mandalas, or of course drawing for different causes also. And I'm sure you don't want to miss out on those. And as usual, you're welcome to comment or message me if you need more clarification. And in case you need help in trying one of these mandalas, feel free to DM me or comment or an email. Anything is fine. So thank you for your interest and see you next time. So bye for now.